How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. First of all, I want to talk about why Bitcoin's falling. Second of all, I do want to say I'm on auto steer, so we're all good. I'm not actively driving, in case anyone's worried. But I want to talk about why Bitcoin's falling right now. We see Bitcoin going up to 49K yesterday. The ETF was approved. We saw a lot of volume, and yet Bitcoin's at 43,500, maybe even lower by the time you see this video. There are a couple key reasons for this and some interesting things that you should know. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you can see future videos just like this one. Also, stay safe out there. I know a lot of the US is getting hit with a winter storm, so be careful out there. Now, while you're hitting subscribe, if you don't mind, there's also a link down there to Margex in case you want to trade cryptocurrency, long, short cryptocurrency. It's a interesting exchange that's very small still. It's a boutique exchange, so they've been growing very quickly, but in case you want to try that out, there's no KYC and you can check it out underneath the video. Like I said earlier, Bitcoin is falling. Right now, Bitcoin's at about 43,500 at the time of this recording, and we've seen it fall significantly. Now, to people newer in the market, they might say, hey, why the heck is Bitcoin falling? We just got something really bullish that happened over the last day and a half, 2 days, right? And people are talking about how whales are buying, people are so excited for the next bull run, and yet price isn't showing that. So what is it? Well, part of it is just the mechanics of how these ETFs work. So far, there have been some people that have been selling GBTC, which is one of the ETFs that was converted into a spot ETF, but they are keeping very high fees, 1.5% fees, which is what they had before. But they're keeping them because they realize a lot of people don't want to make the taxable event of actually selling their ETF, and they already have a lot of AUM. Sorry, it's kind of loud in here. But they already have a lot of AUM, and they say, okay, even if people leave, we're still okay with that. Or people sell, we're still okay with that because of the fact that we have so much in assets under management. If we charge this high fee, a lot of people won't sell, and we'll make much more money than if we go and cut fees. So there are still some people that are selling that, maybe people that have it in retirement accounts. I did that myself, and they say, hey, I'm gonna sell this and put it into something else. Maybe it's a different Bitcoin ETF, that's what I did. Maybe they're reinvesting it into something else, they're just taking profits in general, but they are selling. Now, what we saw just today was that there have been some Bitcoin that are hitting exchanges, going to Coinbase from Grayscale's wallets. We saw about 4,000 Bitcoin. So we can assume people sold GBTC, and now GBTC has to go sell that Bitcoin. So $400 million, or 4,000 Bitcoin is a significant amount. I think that's right around $180 million or something like that. $180 million of Bitcoin being sold can't push down the price. And what we're seeing really after that small amount, we're seeing some fear, right? Grand scheme of things, a couple hundred million, it's going to push down the markets, but what's really causing it is that there were some liquidations after that. People are buying the dip with leverage. People are going and leveraging long, which is something as a trader that you always have to be willing to cope with or to deal with, right? If there is some kind of big drop in the market, if someone goes and sells a couple $100 million worth of Bitcoin, it can easily liquidate you. Now, I will say, I did actually put on a long, trying to catch that bottom. I did put on a long, trying to catch that bottom. I'm not liquidated. I still have a lower liquidation price, but I went into it knowing that could happen. So that can continue to happen. We can continue to see liquidations. Now, is this bad long-term for Bitcoin? No. I mean, we knew that there was going to be a lot of volatility around these ETFs. We know that over time, this unlocks a lot of capital, but short-term, anything can happen, right? So I'm not bearish long-term on these ETFs. I think it's actually really good what happened over the last few days. Let me just take you over here. I have to make one turn. But I think what happened over the last few days is actually really good for the markets. Being able to unlock a lot of that capital, as I said, from retirees, from people that don't want to maybe buy their own Bitcoin in self-custody, people that want it in retirement accounts, institutional managers that want access to Bitcoin, but they don't want to buy some derivative. So now they can actually buy spot, and when they buy those new ETFs, the ETFs go and buy Bitcoin. So over time, we'll have more buying pressure. But right now, there's just some volatility due to the mechanics of it and people trying to get out of GBTC and causing some liquidations. We can continue to see this, right? We can continue to see this. Something that is interesting is typically when Bitcoin falls down, a lot of alts fall down. And while we are seeing alts fall a little bit, Bitcoin has fallen down a lot more than Ethereum and even more than a lot of the top altcoins right now. So it's really like a Bitcoin problem short term for how the ETFs work. But again, long term, I don't think it's anything to be worried about. Long term, this has actually been a really good thing. And if you're worried because we're down to 44,000, 43,500, this is where we were a few days ago. This is the volatility that you have to put up with to get one of the best performing assets in the world, and it's going to continue to be volatile. Even in a bull market, we still see drawbacks. Now, what am I doing personally? Well, I have been looking at more altcoins. Dominance did move up, now it's falling down a little bit. I am looking at more altcoins, possibly investing, getting some allocation in some of them, but I continue to accumulate. I continue to buy Bitcoin passively, and by that I mean I'm getting paid in Bitcoin for different work that I do, and I'm just holding that Bitcoin. So I'm essentially buying the dip here today. I got a decent amount of Bitcoin today, also getting some other altcoins, holding all of it. So I'm gonna weather the storm. I'm gonna continue to accumulate because long term I know that this is an asset class that's going to continue to expand, continue to get billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars flowing into it. Short term, I don't really care. We have the halving coming up, right? This was an exciting event with the ETFs. We've waited 10 years for this, and now it's finally approved. This will be a trickle though, a trickle. 100 million here, 10 million there, 50 million there, where people continue to buy. We have countries buying, we have individuals buying, we have the halving coming up, which basically allows miners to sell less. They're one of the biggest sellers of Bitcoin on the market because they get 900 new Bitcoin a day and they have to pay for expenses, pay for electricity, pay for employees, that kind of thing. So they're typically one of the bigger sellers of Bitcoin, and they'll have about half the amount in a couple months to sell every day. So that does cause less selling pressure, which causes price go up. Technology, so over the long term, I am happy with where we're at on Bitcoin and on crypto. Let me know your thoughts underneath the video though. Are you worried about how the market's going? Are you buying more today? Let me know in the comment section. Again, there's a link down there to Margex in case you want to trade crypto. Of course, always make sure that it's allowed where you're at. And I don't know if you knew this, but I do have a video that kind of explains how to trade cryptocurrency on Margex on my channel. You can just search for it in case you want to learn a little bit more. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.